All right, as we jump into this training together, I really want to set this one up for you. This is a section taken from inside one of our Pro Coach certification training rooms. And the focus here is on something that every world-class coach needs to understand, because when a client gets triggered, maybe they get defensive or they get offended or resistant, or they just suddenly start like pulling back, it's very easy to think that maybe they're being difficult, or they're living at effect, or they're still benefiting from some sort of hidden secondary gain. But most of the time, they're not being difficult. They're being protected. Really, it's just their ego doing its job. Like, the ego's job is not to help them grow. The ego's job is to help them keep safe. And so the moment a client starts moving towards something new and something that they want, something new like a new identity, or maybe a new business, or a higher standard in their relationship, or a new level of visibility, or a new level of success, the ego starts searching for all of this past evidence of danger and failure. And it'll start whispering things like, hey, do you remember last time that you tried this? Or, what if this doesn't work? What if people judge you? What if you fail? What if you're actually not ready yet? And if we don't understand that as coaches, we can accidentally meet defense with force. We can try to convince our client, we can push them, or bring that push energy. We can fall into this trap of trying to prove something. We can try and even at times try and force our client to start seeing things our way. But the ego doesn't soften through pressure. The ego softens through curiosity. It's curiosity that creates space. Curiosity helps the client notice the protection without becoming trapped in it. And it's curiosity that allows our clients to start asking themselves, well, what is this part of me trying to protect? Or what past experience is being brought to the present? Is the fear that I'm feeling now actually true? Or is this just an old identity trying to keep itself alive? Because the person that they are today is not the person that they were 10 years ago. And the person that they're becoming may require them to shed those old skins and let go of those old stories and those old protections that maybe at some point in their life, maybe it made sense, but just now it keeps them stuck. So as you watch this, listen for the way that the ego uses past evidence to argue against future growth. Listen for how fear can sound logical, and listen for the shift that happens when we stop fighting the ego and start getting curious about what it's trying to protect. All right, let's jump on into it.
Think of it like when you get triggered, that's a good thing. It's a good thing because your ego is bringing something up for you from your past, and it's trying to protect you through asking you to be offended or reject it. No, be offended by that, be rejected by that, because, and it's going to have this past referential index, because the ego wants to live. But who can see that the person you are today is not the person you were 10 years ago, or the person you were 10 years ago is not the person you were maybe 10 years before that? Like, yeah, you're growing, you're changing, you're evolving. And so you've got to shed those old skins, or you need to move past those old identities. And you need to push past those defenses that we sort of set up for ourselves, which, you know what, like if I was the ego, it kind of makes sense that I would do that. Like if I was the ego and it's like, hey, I'm going to go start a coaching business, it would kind of make sense for me to be like, whoa, hang on a second. What do you mean you're going to start a business? That's dangerous. That's really dangerous. I don't know about starting a business, man. Like, you got this great career and stuff. Like, business is scary. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what if it doesn't work? Like, it makes sense that the ego brings all that stuff up from your past. It makes sense that when you decide that you're going to do that Facebook post, that your ego says to you, did you check that 5 times? And you go, well, okay, I'll just check it one more time. Like, well, whatever. Yeah, but what if your mum sees it? What if your auntie sees it? What if the people from work see it? What if your old friends see it? But what if they see it? Oh, damn you, ego, keeping me in check. Like, am I really going to do that? Again, it's just dredging these things up from the past, right? And your ego, it's like you, it's an overachiever. And what I mean by it's an overachiever, it's like you say, I'm going to start a business. You make that decision. Hey, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to do it. Not only does it go like, oh, whoa, like, hang on, like, stop, check it out. It goes, don't you remember that friend of yours who started a business? How did it work out for them? Yeah. What about when your cousin started? What about when that friend from school started? What if? How did it work out for them? And so your ego is always trying to protect you. And the way it's protecting you is by giving you evidence from the past. And so if you make decisions based on the evidence from the past through the filter of your ego, you're making a decision out of fear. Is this landing for everybody, by the way? Right? Because your ego wants protection. So it's going to try and scare the shit out of you to make sure that you don't move forward. Right? We need to be better than that. Sorry, sometimes I say shit and some other words and stuff. You guys will love me for it. It'll be fine. I just get passionate. Does anybody else just sort of get passionate about what you do? You get passionate about it, and sometimes there's a few words and whatnot, they fly out there. Conversely, we want to make decisions from our future self. Now, the difficulty with making decisions from the future self is that just we don't have a reference index to say that it's true yet. Like I had to make a decision to say that I'm going to be a marathon runner, but I haven't run a marathon. I haven't even done the training for the marathon. So how did I decide that I was going to be a marathon runner? Well, because I made a decision from my future self from today. Landing, yeah, type the chat screen for me, landing, because this is quite important. We're kind of like edging into, because these stories, they're powerful, right? You've got to think about it. Like you've got your events, you've got your memories, you've got your history. We're deleting, we're distorting, we're generalizing. We've got these pictures, we've got these memories, which by the way, what is a memory? A memory is an internal representation that has a really tightly wound feeling wrapped in it. And that's what a memory is. A memory is a picture that you hold within yourself that has a particular feeling. And so you can have memories of the past. On day 3, we're going to do a process together. I'm going to insert a future memory for you. That's day 3. You want to make sure you get your backside trackside for that when we get into goal setting. What we're talking about right now is the work of, well, it's kind of like Gestalt therapy, right? And so we're sort of moving into the work of psychotherapists like Fritz and Laura Perls, very, very renowned in the space. And if you don't know what a Gestalt is, think of it as a Gestalt as like a thread of memories.